ladies and gentlemen. The topic is Biohacking Your DNA Code. Well, the session will be taken by Dr. Sajeev Nair. He is a qualified MBA, Diploma in Advertising, and MSc Analytical Chemistry from a reputed institute of India. Apart from that, he is founder of Thought Process Reengineering, TPR, certified NLP practitioner and a trainer, motivational speaker and a life coach, best-selling author and a very successful entrepreneur. Please put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen. Would like to do the honor to invite Dr. Sajeev Nair, ladies and gentlemen, here on the stage.
So good afternoon, all of you. Some of the things Dr. Samir said, I regularly practice, like, oil pulling using virgin coconut oil, which has really helped me a lot. So thanks for giving this kind of tips. I'm not a medical doctor, but I'm only a researcher. Not only, but I'm a researcher. But I have been very well connected with the field of health and wellness. Maybe we may be the first one to start a functional medicine clinic in India, way back in 2003. I was a co-founder with Dr. Sri Kumar on Wellness Solutions, which we started in 2003. And right now we rebranded at that BioWell. So my connection has been in this industry of wellness has been quite strong. Functional medicine has been quite strong. We have created some brands also. Some brands I have sold also in the functional medicine space. Right now, the topic I wanted to discuss with you is this new wave which is happening right now, which is called the biohacking. When we talk about biohacking, it has got certain. Some people think it's from a negative point of view. Hacking is not a positive word. But ultimately, hacking is taking charge. With your permission or without your permission, it is taking charge. So biohacking is all about hacking your own biology using scientifically proven devices, scientifically proven methodologies, tools, and processes. This is what generally is being observed. Now, what is the relevance of biohacking at this point of time in this world? Main thing is, right now we are living in a quantified world, whatever we say. Quantified world means, my ring is measuring almost all the things, what is going on in me. I got this smart watch. Now you can even measure your thought frequencies using neurofeedback systems. EEG is no more a medical thing now. EEG is becoming a consumer thing because EEG is getting converted into headbands and getting that as neurofeedback. We were working with one project on that. So basically what happens is that when you are actually meditating, you know whether you are really in a relaxation mode or not. People think that they are meditating, but most of the time their sympathetic nervous system may be totally active. They think that they are relaxing, but they may not be. So these kind of things can be right now measured. Basically, I would rather say quantify. So when you can quantify everything, and the most important thing is, we are getting so much of data. Right now, I think we are flooded with data. To a certain extent, I can say that, we are overwhelmed with data. The only thing is how this data can be utilized and put into use for the goodness of human beings, or put into use by myself. Can I improve my health? Because the all topic which has been discussed about the last 2 days has been about improving the overall health, performance, attaining peak levels of performance, disease-free life, all those kinds of stuff. So can I use this data, which I can get from my own kind of resources, like the smart ring or the smart watch, maybe from my mobile, because every other day a new AI invention is happening. Why it's happening? Because you have a huge data bank right now. We are sitting on big data. And there are data scientists who are being paid the maximum. Right now, they are the ones who are actually getting the maximum salary. And data scientists, they are ready to retrieve the data or use the data and give you the kind of whatever interpretation you require. Now, I think the healthcare professionals need to understand this because this is going to be the future. Now, instead of just checking the blood parameters or blood, or the urine parameters, you can actually get a lot of data from, say, for example, we were talking about sleep in the morning. Even the other hall also, I heard about sleep. It is not that you cannot understand how many hours you have spent in REM. You can. Right now, you have the data. So how many hours you spend on the REM, how many hours you spend on in the deep sleep, how many hours you spend in light sleep, everything is measurable. Today, as per my wearable, my readiness is 87%. So that means when I woke up, I can check my mobile and I see that, my readiness is 87%. That means I'm 87% ready for the day. So it's based on the previous night's sleep, because I'm a strong believer that your tomorrow starts today evening. This is the fundamental thing. We should educate every single individual in the world. Your tomorrow starts today evening. Whatever you do today evening is going to reflect tomorrow. Whatever kinds of dinner you're going to have tonight is going to have a reflection tomorrow. There's no doubt about it. So the overall concept of biohacking is based on this. And this is actually going in a big way. Maybe some of you may be hearing it for the first time, but in the coming years, you're going to hear it in a big way. I curated and launched the World Biohack Summit in Dubai last year. We had more than participants from more than 30 countries. And we had close to about speakers from more than 15 countries. And luckily, we had 1 or 2 speakers from India also. Because I'm trying my bit in terms of bringing in the ancient Indian wellness wisdom into biohacking, because biohacking, as such, I'm telling you, is going in a complete Western world. And though wellness is a topic which we can talk, Indians can talk with a lot of authority, I think it is actually getting into the Western world in a different way. So this is the time when we need to merge the ancient Indian wellness wisdoms, whatever knowledge we have. I'm not just talking about Ayurveda, I'm talking about yoga, I'm talking about breath works, I'm talking about all the different kinds of things, what we practice in India, along with the technology, along with for the betterment of human beings. So what the project I undertake is called Human Performance Optimization. This is the project on which I'm working right now. And primarily what we are doing is that, how a human being can enhance his performance. Performance means it is personal, professional, every aspect of the life. Why this subject is so important is because the world is running at a faster pace than what we can even imagine. I feel that people are becoming more and more dissatisfied with their own lives. Why? Because they think that whatever I'm trying to do today, somebody else has already done it. Some of you must have got these ideas, like till yesterday you had some idea, today when you came here, somebody has already done it. So how much ever faster you try, especially entrepreneurs are having this problem, We have this new disease called entrepreneur dilemma. We try to do one thing and at the same time something else is popping up. I should be doing that then, because this is promising. So it's basically a very confusing world. And Stephen Hawking, who has been considered as the father of modern physics, he said the artificial intelligence is going to make the human race end if we don't optimize our brain properly. This is very, very critical. So on human performance optimization, the theme on which we work is basically on these 3 aspects. One is the brain, second is body and mind. So I separated mind from brain because it's a wrong myth. People have got that the mind and the brain are the same. And even there are people who think that they are their brain. When it comes to other organs, we have a detachment. My knee is paining. My eyes have got some problem. But when it comes to frustration, you are saying, I am frustrated. I am angry. I am dull. No, it is not you. It is your brain is frustrated. Okay? Somebody may say, no, it must be your mind is frustrated. No. Let us argue on that. Because where is mind? The modern day scientist says that mind is nothing but a non-local domain. Good definition. It's a non-local domain. It exists only when you think. So when you sleep, do you have your mind with you? No idea. What's going on? We have no clue. Now, but we know one thing sure about is our brain. We know that there are neurochemicals. We know that there are electrical impulses moving inside the brain. So we know one thing for sure, that when thoughts travel or traverse, there are electrical impulses moving in the brain, which is we have already taken it out through EEGs. Or the question is, when the electrical impulses move, is that the time we think? Could be. But then what is the relevance of mind? Mind exists when these electrical impulses move. And subsequently some neurotransmitters getting emitted or inhibited. That's another way of looking at it. Why I'm giving all these different perspectives is that this is a subject which can go into real deeper level of discussions and arguments. Debates, not arguments, debates. But one thing is for sure, we need to work very deeply on the brain part. Because at this point of time, when we are running, the world is running at this faster pace, if anyone has to succeed in life, they will need to have their brain functioning at a faster pace. Or rather, you can call it as a cognitive enhancement. For that, whatever it takes, about a week back, people have no clue about what's happening in their brain. Seriously, I'm telling you. I'm very passionate because I started this work on thought process reengineering research in 2006. So I got connected with many neuroscience experts, and that's how I got more motivated about it. 2 weeks back, I met with one of my relatives, and he was kind of feeling so dull and all those stuff. I asked my wife what happened to him. She said, no, but he's going through some disease. So I went to him, I asked him, what really happened? He said, you didn't know? I said, what happened? No, I'm being detected with Parkinson's. So I've already slowed down. He's telling me, trembling hasn't started. So he's waiting for that. When is my trembling? When is my memory will be, when my functionality will be lost? Because he's being educated in that way. I said, wait a minute, what is your problem right now? I'm being detected with Parkinson's. That's fine. What is your problem? I have become slow. Okay. I said, what do? I take medicine, M-DOPA. Then, that's it. Now I have started going to an Ayurvedic center also. I said, what do you know about Parkinson? He said, my neurologist didn't tell anything because he's very busy. Then I asked my Ayurveda doctor, and he said, my brain is getting compressed. I said, compressed by what? Skull is compressing my brain. Can you believe it? So that is what I'm saying, that, people have, right now, that gentleman, right now, if you tell this to a youngster, they will go Google and they will find out what it is. But for older people, they may not be able to find out. So very less information has been given about brain. Even the way, some of the food which can actually enhance your brain functions, like the cognitive functions, like MCT oil or extra virgin coconut oil, which is rich in MCT oil, amazingly enhances the brain functions. You all must be knowing that. Ghee, A2 ghee, it amazingly enhances the brain function. So we work a lot on the brain cognitive enhancement and also on the thought process re-engineering. Basically, making people understand that your thoughts are not just your emotions are not just kind of a feeling. Your emotions are an outcome of some of the neurochemical imbalances also. Okay, making people understand. It's okay to be depressed because the problem could be that your emission of dopamine or serotonin is low. Let's work on that. Suicidal tendency is very high. People are ready to commit suicide now. They don't know whom to speak to. The biggest community, one of the biggest community on Reddit is about subject connected to suicide. So why I'm saying is that this brain thing has to be fixed. Otherwise, we are going to get into a world where AI is going to rule the entire human race, and people will be really overwhelmed with the kind of information, and they may have no clue what to do with it. Now, when it comes to body, yes, of course, a disease-free life everybody is looking for. It's not the longevity. It is a health span we are talking about rather than lifespan nowadays. You need to live longer. Yes, we can. But at the same time with absolute health and productivity and performance. So this should be the aim for every human being. Because I'm a strong believer that, till the age of 20, 25, we all spend our time, energy, and money on education. We get ourselves educated. Governments are funding it. Universities are funding it. Then after that, next 20 to 25 years, what we do? We work in some organization, we practice, or we do some business. There we gain experience. And at the age of 50 onwards, that's the time actually you can contribute. But unfortunately, most of the people are being detected or contracted with one or other lifestyle disease, which reduces their mitochondrial function, reduces their cognitive functions. So all the knowledge you have acquired and all the experience you have acquired, when the time has come to put that into practice, that's the time you're getting affected. So that's why I strongly believe that it should be a common mission to have longer lifespan with absolute performance. You know, people should be able to perform at peak levels, even in their 60s, 70s, and 80s. Why not? Which is possible right now. Death will be optional by 2045. Some of you must have read this statement. Death will be optional by 2045. George Codiaro, who is a geneticist who has actually published this book called Death of the Death. So the way epigenetic science is moving ahead, it looks like, and also the way you can quantify most of your health parameters, you know, we should not be surprised about this statement that death will be optional by 2045. If not 2045, at least maybe 2050, I don't know. So anyway, so enhanced energy levels, mitochondrial functions, cognitive functions, and on the mind level, how we can increase the happiness quotient, HQ. 2015 onwards, I've taken up a project of happiness quotient in UAE. So basically, we work on various parameters connected to happiness. Happiness, we all know that on one side it's an emotion. Yes, of course, the spiritual gurus and kind of meditations and all those kinds of things actually enhances happiness. But at the same time, we also know that there is a neurochemical impact on it. We know that our biology also has got a lot to do with happiness. Right now, serotonin, we all know, is connected with happiness. Earlier, people used to think that serotonin comes out of brain. Now, people are saying that no, 94% of the serotonin is produced in the gut by the microbiomes. And then comes the gut-brain axis, and it has to get activated. So if your gut is not right, how can you be happy? So you just by popping some pills, if people think that they're going to be happy, but if you haven't fixed where your happiness has lost, you won't be able to really solve the problems. So I think now mental health is a big topic, but at the same time, mental health is just dealt by as a psychology subject. No more. I don't think that is the right approach. Mental health is a physiology issue too. That's the way when we look at it, most of the psychological issues have got a connection with your biology. So instead of saying psychosomatic, I would rather say soma-psychotic. We have to redefine because if you look at it, neuroscience as such, some of you must be definitely from that field. Neuroscience as such, 90% of all what we know about brain, they were all discovered after 1990, which is a very, very new subject altogether. So we need to understand more about our brain and how our brain and the body functions. And then we know even we can influence our mind using our brain. We can influence our mind using our body. Instead of making the mind influencing the body, how about making your body influencing your mind? It is possible. So even science also proves that. If you get into high intensity interval trainings or any of this hormesis processes where, whatever hormesis process you can go through, that means the controlled stress, the brain, emits this BDNF, and the BDNF is a factor which is required for almost all the psychological activities. So there is enough evidences. So I think as specialists in this area of functional medicine, I think my urge as an entrepreneur or researcher is that all should be focusing on a very important topic, that how I can enhance the performance of people. Because the moment you start working on that one problem, all other problems will be fixed. Because if someone has to perform at peak levels, he needs to be disease-free. Someone has to perform at peak levels, he should have that level of energy levels, his mitochondria, his brain, everything should be functioning properly. And the good news is we can quantify everything right now. So health professionals should be able to understand the data right now. And you should take one step ahead and move ahead and see how I can actually read this data. The moment HRV, heart rate variability, somebody says HRV, higher HRV is a good thing for you, but sometimes people don't know. We have a program called EPLIMO, Epigenetic Lifestyle Modification, whereby we conduct a genetic testing through which 275 health conditions are being, or health risk factors are being monitored. And based on that, we do a metabolic assessment using a mobile app. And we combine this, correlate this using machine learning and also human intervention. We have a team of doctors, nutritionists, and fitness trainers. And then we come out with a highly personalized lifestyle modification program, which we call it as Epigenetic Lifestyle Modification, EPLIMO. The unfortunate part is that when somebody goes with a report to a doctor, normal, conventional doctor who has not been exposed to functional medicine, they say, doctor, look, I have got a high risk for heart disease. And I got this recording. Doctor's statement is, take good food, nutritious food, do exercise, but what should I do specific to this? Doctor said, that I cannot do much because only when you have the problem, then I'll be able to help you. That's the situation. He didn't even see that, this guy has got a genetically higher concentration of, higher levels of homocysteine. He didn't even check that this guy has got a genetically lower concentration of B9. So there are some hacks which are available in the data. So we need to read the data. I got 3 minutes, so I'll run through the slides where we will show you what all kinds of data we are actually right now collecting. And we do have a counter out there. You can actually check with more details about that. Now, this is one program on which we are actually collecting data from DNA. So we do a very comprehensive, the most comprehensive test right now available in India is 275 genetic factors. We are health factors, health conditions we are testing on this. We have already done 5,000 plus people have gone through this program. This comes into the app where you get a continuous monitoring, and also we give coaching for the people to monitor their lifestyle because that's very important. We also introduced a very specific hyper-personalized weight loss program also based on some of the genes about 20 different conditions on which has got a direct impact on weight loss or weight gain from a genetic point of view, and then combining that with a metabolic data. So we definitely provide precision nutrition, and these are the kinds of data that we are retrieving now. This is the wearable which we are going to launch in April, the Smart Ring, which is going to take almost a huge number of data from the patient. We are also going to have a face vital scan. This is an AI-based tool which we are incorporating. This can measure things like, many vitals like cardiovascular risk assessment, stress levels, heart rate, diabetic risk from 1 minute of scanning of your face. Okay? So in a preliminary level, you get some information. After that, if you wanted to go take the patient or, take the patient for a detailed testing, that is possible. But in a preliminary level, the patient doesn't have to go to all these kinds of cumbersome processes. You just need to download the app. Bloodless blood test, same thing, the scan. From the scan, we are getting hemoglobin, HbA1c, cholesterol, and many more. About 25 health factors we are actually taking from it. Then, on the same, we have another AI which is being instituted, which will be doing a personalized training. That means you don't require a personal trainer anymore. This will give you posture correction. This will give you reps when it's a female coach. We have introduced a female coach, AI coach. So she will actually tell you exactly the posture, and whenever the reps are right, then only you will be getting the points. So based on the points, they will be getting rewarded also. So this is a app interface. Health assistant, it's almost like a generative AI where people can ask questions, get the basic data. And biological age, from steps and the time duration for the steps, heart rate variability, and other 3 factors. This has gone for FDA approval now. So biological age can be measured. I'm not talking about the telomere side. If you want somebody to do a telomere test to get a precision, that's okay. This is someone can do it by themselves and give you the data. And the doctor or the health coach can be connected on the back end, and you can actually advise them on a regular basis, saying that make these corrections and you see what happens in your life. Yeah, altogether, this is, we call this app as trigger, and so that's what it is. So I just wanted to once again inspire all of you to try to gather data, be more open towards data, because data is going to be the new, or is going to be the oil, they say. It's going to be the gold. Especially when it comes to health and wellness, this is going to be the big thing which can help a lot of lives. Thank you so much, and thank you for patient listening.
Thank you so much, Dr.